Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Lee from Creatively on Sunday the 16th of August with FLOSSTUBE number 38. Should be a pretty quick one today because I don't have any no haul today. I don't have any haul acquisitions, things I bought, anything to show off. But then the last couple of weeks have been a little bit extravagant. So it's okay. I still have a couple of things in the mail. I don't know, my Fortnight Fabrics parcel still last seen departing Vietnam on the 9th of June, so who knows, right? It might turn up one day. And my May-June subscription to Victorian Motto Sampler Shop, a shipping label has been created, but it, according to emails from Nancy, it looks like the issues, let's call it, with the US Postal Service are going to impact that, because she didn't quite say it but inferred that the post office was being a dick, but it does look like by all accounts that there are reasons why that is happening. Again, one day they'll turn up, right? It's not like I'm waiting for a paycheck or my prescriptions to arrive by mail. Anyway, speaking of what's going on, we're, for the non-Kiwis who are watching, we're back to level 2, 3 in Auckland, due to, after 102 days, some community transmission of COVID. There's a bit of a lockdown up in Auckland specifically. This stage looks like they're managing to contain it within one cluster, but more testing's going on. They are looking into, what's interesting is they've done genome testing, and it looks like the strain that is in this cluster up in Auckland is not related, not the same genome as anything that we've had tested before, so it's something new that's come in, and no one that's in managed quarantine that they've been able to get the genome testing from matches it. So they're investigating, I drew it myself. They're investigating, it looks like patient 0 may be linked to a cold store where basically they think, we don't have enough, there's not enough science yet, not enough research done, but it does look like potentially it's come in via that, and could be that because it's in cold conditions, a virus can last for a bit longer, and it may very well have been picked up through goods that have been transmitted or brought over from Australia. So who knows, right? So it'll be interesting to see. But anyway, we're all kind of in more restrictions for a couple of weeks. So feel for my subbies and the people up in Auckland. I've got family in Auckland who are at level 3, which is a lot more restrictive than we've got down here in the rest of the country. So hang in there, wear your masks, and do the hygiene thing and social distance, and hopefully we'll get out of this quickly. So especially because we want to have our retreat at the end of October, and we want our Auckland people to be able to come, because we're less than 100 people, and we can do things like we can contact trace and all that. We can still, in theory, hold our retreat at level 2 in Wellington, but the level 3 people at level 3 can't travel out of the area, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Not going to the ballet this Friday though, because I presume we're not going to the ballet because more than 100 people can't meet. Anyway, quick update on my dad. He's doing okay. What's going on here? He's celebrating, I think now 13 or is it 14 days sleeping, not in a hospital bed, so that's really good. Basically, he's had his cardiac follow-up, and they've confirmed the surgery that he had went really well. Unfortunately, it's highlighted or exacerbated, or he's developed other issues. No shit, Leroy. So he is actually quite ill. But the biggest concern for the surgeon is the atrial fibrillation, the fast, the heart rate being too fast and irregular and stuff. And given they've stopped and started him a couple of times, and he's been on medication to help control it, it's sort of been managed, but not ideally. And he has to have another procedure, which I can't remember what it's called. Ablation. They go in and essentially do some electrical maintenance to shut down some of the circuitry that causes your heart to go fast, or that causes your heart to beat, and narrow it down to at the very least one, because one's important, that controls that. So hopefully that works. He's reasonably urgent, so he should have that within the next couple of months, 2 or 3 months. It's not open heart. They go through, put a wire through your arm and stuff. So that's good. And there's a good chance that'll give him sort of 25% improvement in energy, etc., and also reduce his risk of deathosity. So basically just hang in there, don't die before you have it, is essentially what we're working on. I know I sound really glib and stuff, but he's not well. We know that. At least now we know more, and he has a plan. It's better than being unwell and not knowing what's going on and not having a plan, because the reality is he's not well. So we've already kind of accepted that, and at least it's not just, oh well, never mind. It's okay, we can try something. So so rough news, but again, being informed and having hope, I guess, that things can get better is a good thing. So happy. Anyway, that's the family update. I think life update, no haul. What are we, 7 minutes? I'm going to show you a bit of stitching. That's pretty much it. Oh, hang in for the end. I am going to draw the winner of the 150 sub giveaway. I'm drinking tea with lemon and honey today. Hoping it'll help my voice, because my voice is whack. So, my voice is basically because essentially my lung specialist has confirmed that despite my family history, I don't have, and nor will I develop, COPD. So yay! I do have asthma, and we're still working with trialing different combinations of inhalers to see which one has the best efficacy for me, and also hopefully doesn't give me voice issues. However, it looks like I'm one of those people that the steroids that keep me alive, aka breathing, make my voice go weird. So probably breathing trumps voice, so I'm just going to have to get over it. So I apologise for the husky, sometimes squeaky nature of my voice. It's something I just have to learn to live with at this stage until I find a medication that doesn't do it. It's okay. So, bit of stitching. I'm going to show you what I did the other day. So last week I had showed you an update on my long dog hoity toity, and I got to about here-ish. And that was after I'd made some changes to some thread. I don't have much written on here. So I'm just going to write down 36 count Fijoa from Country Stitch. And I'm doing a conversion. La 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 la. So I started this 1st of June I just got to my dad's place when he was still in Waikato Hospital. So yeah, Hoity Toity by Long Dog Samplers on 36 count Fijoa from Country Stitch, and I'm doing my own kind of conversion. It's a combo of called for DMC, I've got Silks PL70 for the black, Silks for You PR70, and I'm doing some subs as and when I decide the colours don't work. So last week, after my video, I finished the bottom, but then when I was ironing it today, I realised I made a mistake, so I'm going to have to do a tiny little bit of frogging and fixing. It's okay, it'll only take me about 5 minutes to pull out a couple of rows of black. It wasn't until it's often when you step back and look at it, I'm missing these little peachy, I don't know, stems under here, so that won't take very long to fix. I'll do it next time I pick it up. So, but yeah, as I was ironing it, I went, oh, that's standing out, that little black piece is standing out, what's going on? So goodness knows what else oh my god, and I'm missing a stitch. And I'm missing a stitch in there of black, so that'll be fine. But often I found when I did my death by cross stitch, I took a photo every time I worked on it, and I uploaded a kind of almost daily, because I stitched on it almost every day for 4 months, I think 3 months, I can't remember. April, May, June, 4 months. I started in April, finished in July. I took a photo every time I finished the bit I worked on, and sitting back and looking at the photo, errors or missed stitches or what have you stood out so much more than staring at the fabric. So I kind of recommend that if you're concerned about that kind of thing. If you're the kind of person that if you spent like $600 or $700 getting something framed and then you put it on the wall and then you saw something that let's call it a mistake, it would haunt me for the rest of I would see it every time I look at it. So I've promised myself to never look at my death by cross stitch closely ever again. However, when I took photos, I would have a look and I'd be like, oh, I see a mistake, which is fine. Yeah, I can fix it. I'm happy to fix it. I don't mind frogging a bit or frogging a whole dragon if I have to, if I feel it's necessary. Even before I took it, the morning before I took it in to get framed, I kind of sat down and I went over it kind of inch by inch by inch. I found what I would consider about 20 or 25 things that I fixed. A couple of little single X's where perhaps I'd cut the silk a little bit short, and silk is slippy, so it had, one stitch had come undone or it was a bit fuzzy. So I tidied up a couple of stitches. There was some where there was sort of 3 what to me should be symmetrical, identical motifs where one of them had a few extra stitches. And when you look at the chart, they're on the chart. It's not that I stitched them wrong. A couple of other things like that. So I went over it with literally a fine-tooth comb. So I know that I've caught most of the things that would annoy me if I saw them. And now I'm like, cool, it's framed. Now I'm never looking at it that closely again. Otherwise, I would consider taking it apart and fixing it and getting it restretched. That's how I am. So I'm a little bit anal about shit like that. I think when you've spent like thousands of hours, I don't think it was thousands of hours, when you've spent thousands of minutes, a long time, stitching a big piece that cost a lot to frame, it's quite different from a small cushion where that little gathering berries the other week, I'm like, I know that I missed a whole row out, but I just fudged it. So some things don't annoy me, but it's a little cushion that took me 2 days to stitch. Scale. Anyway, random, right? But anyway, if you are that kind of person, use your phone, take a photo of the thing, sit back and have a look at it and just see what, because often just a different perspective, you can see things where when you're stitching close up, you don't really get it. Anyway, rant over. I then stitched something for the majority of the week because I just did that on the Sunday night just to get that bottom band finished, which now I have to fix. Last night I just picked up something I hadn't stitched on for a while, which was my Fractal 95 bookmark. It's a freebie. Well, it was a freebie at the time from X-Stitch Collectibles. It's just my beautiful mess of floss. And I have something to say. I started this is just on 18 count Ada. This is, I did the 705, which I finished earlier in the year. Then I started this fractal 3rd of March. And then I've done a couple little goes on it. This is the bottom 2 pages, and it's just been filling in. I did all of this up here, all of this black down here, and I did quite a lot of fill in, that these sort of confetti pieces. So just did a little fill in there. So just, I mean, I probably did like 4 hours on it, 4 or 5 hours on it yesterday. So that was just that was just because I finished something, and I have finished my twisted band sampler. I stitched like a fiend, because last time you saw this I had done the gold, and so I pretty much started on Monday, started through here, and I finished this yesterday. Just yesterday. Of course, once I got to here, like, these are quite involved bands. There's actually 3 stitches in here. There's sort of rush stitches up the middle, you stitch first, then there's 2 different I don't even know what you call it. I've thrown the pattern away, I don't know what they're called. But it's shorter. Like, this here is significantly shorter than like these bands, which take up the full length. And of course cross stitching pretty quickly, and these were so short. And look at those cute little round eyelets that are in here. These little round, they're called like eight-sided round eyelets over 8 or something. Oh, they're so cute. And anyway, it was even so much fun that I stitched these twice, because they were a stitch high, and that meant this wouldn't have worked out. And so I even unpicked these and these. I'm so glad I realised I'd made a mistake before I got to these little eyelets, because they wouldn't have unpicked very well, probably. Anyway, isn't it lovely? I love it so much. I'm so happy it's finished, because there's a lot of stitching in it. And sure, it's worth it to buy the silk for these tiny little pieces of cross stitch. Anyway, that is the twisted band sampler from Northern Expressions Needlework, and it's all called for. The 32 count bisque linen from Lakeside, and the soie d'Alger. And I did look up around when I started it, because I wasn't sure. It was just after my sister had visited last year, and it's like 25th of August, and I finished it whatever yesterday was, 15th of August, so whoop whoop. I don't think this will sit in my cupboard too long. I think I'm quite keen to get it framed reasonably soon, but I need to get my friendship framed for my friend for October, so I need to do that first. So I have another finish. Whoop whoop. So what am I down to now? I should do a whip parade next week. I might do that, because I can't remember what I've got going. Not that much now, unless I start something just today. Who knows? I might start something today. I pretty much got everything for that berry bowl thing. So I had threatened on our New Zealand Facebook, the New Zealand Facebook group, all the way. Yeah, I think it was the New Zealand one. New Zealand. Oh my god, that was so Kiwi. The New Zealand Facebook group that New Zealand Stitches, that I would, if we went to level 3 in Wellington, if we went to level 3, I would start Life After Death instead of waiting for the retreat, but we didn't go to level 3, so I'm going to hold off. But maybe I'll start the Berry Bowl. It'll be something kind of fun, because each of those little motifs will be a each of the little motifs will be a little finish, right? So I'll probably feel, I don't know what I feel, what am I trying to say, more comfortable putting it down after doing a little bit, but I don't know if even that's a problem, but you know. Anyway, people, if there's anyone watching this, I'm after some advice. I've done a little bit of black work, very little bit, and I'm quite keen to do a very big bit, but I can't decide whether I'll just use Ada, or whether I like the look of most black work. Ada's fine. I don't think, I've never seen have you ever seen a black work design that splits the thread if it was on Ada? I don't think so, right? Usually they go over the full, I don't know. But what's the preference if anyone does black work? So thinking about, like I've got my Blackstone Fantasy, which the ink circles, that recommends something like 28 count or 32 count even weave. What do you stitch on when you do black work? Because it's only me deciding what the fabric is. I wouldn't probably do bright white. If anything, I'd do antique white, or really, really pale. I don't know. So the reason I haven't started a couple, I've printed off a couple of the free ones from, is it Almond? I've gone blank, it doesn't matter. I've got a few like free ones, right? Quite large free ones, and I'm quite keen to do it, especially where they encourage you to use up bits of silk that you've got and bits of Krenak and stuff. And I've got so much left over from various projects that there's an opportunity to kind of, you know, fill in with a bit of colour and sparkle and stuff. So I'm not really sure. So yeah, if you've got any advice or can lend, yeah, not even advice, just what have you found works for you and why when it comes to doing black work pieces. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't have the fabric, so it doesn't really matter. And that's pretty much my stitching. I have no idea what I'm doing this week. Doesn't matter. We'll work it out, right? But I should do the 150 sub draw for these two lovely, but not my thing, Victorian Modern Sampler Shop threads in Cotton Candy and Cranberry Rainbow. They are lovely, but just, you know, you can tell by the fact that they've still got the thread around them. I haven't used them. I'd rather pass them on to someone else. Of course, I will post overseas, but just keep in mind it could take 347 weeks to get there. Just be patient. Don't be desperate to use these. So I'll put the video out. I'm going to use the random YouTube random comment picker, and text is pink. So I've got the video link in there. Let me dull down the brightness. Okay. So I've got, and filter duplicates, filter comments based on pink. Get to the comments. There are 18. So you have really good odds of winning when you put a comment on my video. start. Whoop, 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 whoop. And can't read it backwards. Oh, Vicky Kershaw. Congratulations. I'll put a comment against your comment, but if you see this, feel free to drop me a line, either comment back or email me on my Gmail account in the doobly-doo, or you can message me on Instagram. To be fair, I prefer the comment. I can never find my Instagram conversations. So yeah, congratulations. Comment, what did she say? Those pinks would be great for the butterfly that my daughter's best friend wants. Love your videos. Thank you, Vicky, for your support. Yeah, that's it really. 25. I still managed to ramble on for 26 minutes. I don't even know how I do it with my crazy. I don't even know what I was going for today. It was a messy bun, but it's completely disintegrated. My hair's too clean, that's the problem. Anyway, thanks everybody for your lovely comments, and over the last couple of weeks particularly, lots of people have chimed in, and I think I've responded to, at the very least, put a thumbs up or a heart against your comment. It's nice to have the connections, and I feel like I'm slowly building some stitchy friendships, which is really cool, because for me it's a bit of an isolated thing here. Have a great week, keep safe, be strong, and don't let your needles rust. Ciao.